Hey everybody, it's Michelle from Trinity. I'm here with some ideas for parents to help us get through this year ahead that might be a little more stressful than normal. I had the opportunity to attend an all-day symposium last week that was put on by an organization in Philadelphia that specializes in the developing brain and stress and trauma. The organization is called NeuroLogic by Lakeside. You can find them online and you can see the slides from the presentation of last week if you're interested. The organization does training for teachers and administrators of schools to help them prepare children to get ready to deal with COVID. A lot of our school districts are already doing this with it, which is fabulous. Our teachers are going to be prepared with tools that will help them, as will the administrations and social workers that surround our kids. But there were a lot of things in there that I thought parents could benefit from. So I put together 9 tips to help you with this COVID year ahead. You can download the tips at the end of the video and you can post them in a place where you can see them every day. It's a checklist that can remind you how you can help the developing brain during this time. And a lot of them will help us too. So number 1, the first thing we can do is be positive. Find ways to always be positive when we are around our kids. So our kids feel afraid. We want them to feel safe. When they're surrounded by negativity and worry and the uncertainties, they do not feel safe. So imagine your child walking down a dark alley in the middle of the night. It's scary, there's strange sounds, there's strange smells, and it's terrifying for them. And that is what this is like going to school this year, whether it's virtual or in person. It's a lot of unknown. We as parents need to be that light at the end of the alley. We need to be a familiar, smiling face with a flashlight that says, hey, I'm here. It's going to be okay. So find ways to be positive always around your kids. Number 2, take care of yourself. Yes, we hear this all the time as parents, and yes, it's almost impossible. But even more so this year, it is of utmost importance. In order for us to stay positive, we have to be taking care of ourselves. Of course, that means exercise, good sleep, good food. It means breath exercises, meditation, pausing in your day to really reflect on what's important. But right now, even more so, it means turning off the news. It means snoozing negativity on social media. It means surrounding ourselves with only positive people. If we take care of ourselves in that way, it will make a huge difference to our children as they go through the year ahead. Number 3, understand your kids will perform differently than they did last year. Your stellar academic kids may slip a little bit in that area. Your social butterflies may feel a little more withdrawn. Emotionally, kids who were strong might be a little more unstable. That's to be expected. When we experience stress in the growing brain, we actually regress to a younger age. So your kids might act a lot younger than they physically are. And that's all because of stress in the brain. Understand it. All of the change they'll experience this year are going to cause that. If you recognize it and understand it, it's going to help your kids. Number 4, ask your kids, how can I help you? A lot of times it's hard. We get frustrated when the chores aren't being done, when the homework gets procrastinated, when all kinds of things happen in the house. This year especially, take a deep breath, pause, and ask, how can I help you? What can I do to help with this situation? The stress in the developing brain causes them to push things aside that normally they would do. So instead of judging and yelling and punishing, take a moment and say, okay, their brain is under a lot of stress. What can I do to help? And maybe make some exceptions to rules that in the past you wouldn't have had to. Number 5, create and keep a routine. This is not only for kids, it's also for you. Now, those that are doing school at home, obviously this is extremely important. But even parents that are working and kids are in school, when they come home from school, have a normal routine that they follow. It's going to help them to know what to expect, and it's going to help their brains function more fully. Number 6, relationships are necessary. Yes, your kids need to have at least one adult outside your home that they can talk to. They need to have friends, obviously. And as things change with the number of COVID patients, we might decide we need to stay more inside our homes and not get together with friends. One thing I learned at this symposium is that one-on-one Zooms are a great way to fulfill this need, or FaceTime, or whatever method you use. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about screen time, And they made it clear last week that one-on-one Zooms are very different than video games or watching television. So let that go a little bit in the year to come. Allow your kids to have relationships with at least one child and one adult outside of your home, and do that virtually if you can't do it in person. Number 7, praise, praise, praise. Now, for those homeschooling or even those that are in person but you have a lot of homework when they get home, you have a high expectation of your kids. All right, I want the homework done, I want math done, I want to read your paper, I want to help you with spelling, whatever it is. The developing brain under stress cannot handle too much. So if you give them a long list, they're going to break down. They're just going to shut down. So the first piece of advice they shared with us is to put it in little bits, little chunks, and in between, give brain breaks so that their brains can have a little bit of a pause before moving on to the next task. While you're doing these things, praise your kids. All right, so you want 5 minutes of math? They only do 2? Okay, take a deep breath. Say, you know what? Those 2 minutes of math were fabulous. Great job. Do a brain break and then move on. And by the way, I'll be doing brain breaks every day at 3 o'clock so you can learn some of these techniques to build into your students' lives. It'll start when the school year begins, so watch for those. But praise, praise, praise everything. They picked up 1 sock off the floor. Excellent, great job. The developing brain needs more of that when under stress, and this year will be stressful. So praise, praise, praise. All right, number 8, parents who school at home. Understand that your child's brain subliminally will have stress because they're trying to figure out, are you the teacher or are you my mom or dad right now? So it's not something they're going to actively realize is happening inside their brain, but it is happening there. So when you are in teaching mode, be only the teacher. Don't talk about things that a parent would talk about with a child. When you are in parent mode, truly be the parent. Don't talk about the school things. So really try to help your child have separation from that, because it is going to be hard for their brain to understand what role you're playing and what role they should be playing. And number 9, the most important of all, is remember to have grace. Have grace for your child when they mess up. Have grace for yourself when you mess up. All of life is about trying things. They don't work. You go back, you try again. Forgive yourself every day. Forgive your child every time. Understand that God loves us and that love covers all things. And always, always remember to try again. Forgive and try again. All right? So those are the 9 tips that I learned. If you'd like more information, you can reach out to me or you can go to their website. And once again, the company is NeuroLogic by Lakeside. I'd be happy to help you with anything you need. Download the 9 tips, put them in a place you see them every day, and really work on them. It'll help your kids and it'll help you. All right, everybody, have a great day. Bye.